Peace. What's up, babes? What's good? Welcome in. Tell a friend that you're back, and we're doing it again. Yesterday, I got a message to go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. So that is what I did. Now, I am still in the walk of the seeker. I've got my notebooks to prove it, um, my Bible to groove it. Okay. But it is very much a dance. It is a dance between the scriptures. It is a dance between the words. It is an energy. You have to flow with it. And if you don't know how to move, baby, this is just not for you. Okay? Seriously. Like I told you before, it takes a while because when I start to get into one story, one walk, one message, I admit it's just like there's something else that's pulling me. Okay. It feels like something greater than myself. And it's like there's so much to know. All right. So we're in the space where Jesus, it's leading up to the Passover. His final days in Jerusalem, okay, the final hour. We gonna get into that section. If you want to jump ahead, that's Luke 20 and 21. Okay, and in companion with that, we also have John 13 through 17. Okay, and that's when we're going to really start getting into before the Last Supper. You know what I mean? That's the energy that's kind of like what's going on before that Last Supper. Oh, John 13, 17. That one's so good. I don't really have the scriptures, but this one's interesting. Okay, so in Luke, Jesus is doing like I said, a lot of interacting because he's in the temples, he's in the streets, he's talking to the people, he's moving his feet. Again, it's an energetic dance. He is moving with the word, and the word is moving with him. Okay. There are a lot of similarities too with Jesus' story or the New Testament and I want to call it the book of Abram, but it's not. It's Genesis, the beginning. All right. Or Abraham after he was renamed for his fierce battle, for his ability to go and gain his lot back. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, baby. You don't have to run that back to me. That's mine. Okay. Yeah, again, this is because he always stood in his authentic energy. Okay. So wait, let me go into Luke, baby. I said Luke 20. Because again, I've been listening to it, but it's something so different when you sit with the word and you just let it there was a certain point when Jesus was saying that God was telling him, the Lord was telling him that your enemies will be your footstool. Okay. When we dip into John 13, 17, this is the Last Supper or right around there. This is kind of the missing part that Luke doesn't talk about. All right. In this section, Jesus not only breaks bread, he like the king did for Abram after his battle, he broke bread and poured wine for them. He himself did not eat. He himself did not eat. Um, you know, and he also went on to wash their feet. Okay, now this is a theme here. The feet, okay? And washing them, washing the dirt, washing the grime away. Again, this is something that is visited in Genesis when we're talking about the story of Abram. All right? Now, Jesus wanted to show that not only could he lead them, but he could serve them. Okay? He wanted to show not only could he lead them, he could serve them. And this was really, really significant because of all the things that he was teaching them. He was always, always still teaching them. Okay? I mean, it never stopped with him. Jesus, it never stopped with him. He taught them that, God will, what was it? set a table before thy enemies. You know, um, your enemies shall be underneath you. You know, he also learned from the women, the ladies. Okay, and this reveals even more. All right, on how. Well, let's go into it because he had very specific thoughts and ideas. Now, we just talked about Abram and Sarai, who later became Abraham and Sarah. But I feel like Jesus had a feeling about that. The fact that they were married, the fact that he chose to send his wife into the hands of another man, the arms of another man, who then fell in love with her and was quite upset when he recognized or realized that it not only was it not real, but that it brought all kind of bullshit to him. You know what I mean? All kind of BS. Um, and so he believed that to not be married was like the path to ultimate ascension. Okay, he believed that if you were unmarried, then that would lead you to ultimate ascension. That God was the Father. Oh gosh, I wrote it down. God, it says, God is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. And he referred to married people as being dead. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it. But I do. But he also goes on to say that God not only takes care of the living, but of the dead, because even the dead shall rise as well. Okay, so there is this feeling, because it I believe it really goes deep. It goes into this energy of ownership and protection. And then where's the line? You know what I mean? At what point is it where someone is offering up one's own partner, as opposed to supposed to be there to protect them? You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I feel like he had a particular feeling about that. He would rather just meet and allow for the women to follow him. I felt like he had a tolerance. It could have been more that he had a tolerance for those lady friends that we talked about in the last one. But Jesus was a man who really walked with only his God, okay? And he took his journey very, very seriously. That is one thing that's absolutely evident for me as I'm getting closer, going through this work. Okay. um I think that's what we have right now. I just wanted to tap in real quick on the walk of the seeker. um I don't know if it's enough though, honestly. The next section is going to be getting into John, right, which we already kind of did, but this is when he sits and he has a long conversation, a long discussion with his disciples. Um, he prays with them. Yeah, he washes their feet, breaks bread, pours them wine. All of this happens when they're at the table. This is when he reveals, that Judas is going to be the one to betray him. You know what I mean? This is where all the juice is at. Okay. This is where all the tea is at. All right. So yeah, we will be getting into John in the next section. I'll catch you as always in the next video.